Welcome back to Good Day Northern Michigan. Well, March is National Reading Month. It's a time to crack open a book and discover the many benefits of reading for both young and old.
That's right, and here with us to discuss how turning the page on regular reading habits can significantly impact your overall well-being, the Vice President of Population Health and Health Equity for Priority Health, Shannon Wilson, is with us. Good morning, Shannon. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, and what a beautiful morning it is.
That's right, sure is. It's going to be a great week, I think. So talk to us about March as Reading Month and what really the message is that Priority Health wants to get across.
Yeah, at Priority Health, we believe that every child, every family deserves a healthy, an opportunity to achieve their best life or self. And so that's why Reading Month is so important to us. Parents hear all the time, it's important to read to your kids, it's important to read to your kids. And there are several reasons why reading has long-term effects, whether it's on the brain, it can reduce stress, really help improve your memory. It can also really benefit your sleeping patterns. It also increases brain power and empathy, and it can be linked to longer spans of life. So many, many benefits. But the best benefit of all is it's a great opportunity to spend that quality time with your child.
And what age do you recommend for parents to start reading to their kids, or if there's a recommended age?
Yeah, we recommend you start reading to the child in the womb.
Yeah.
So as early as possible, even before they come out. But there's no such thing as too early to read to a child. We know that as that brain develops, and those first couple months of life are so key to that brain development, that reading really stimulates that development and helps us to move it along even faster. And so it's a great time to start reading to your child as soon as they come out. You may think that they don't understand, but trust me, later in life you'll see that they do. And so creating those very scheduled times to read to a child, creating that routine of reading to a child really starts them off on the right path to life.
I think one of the cool things for me as a parent was I started reading to my kids just, I don't want to say out of obligation, but just because I knew it was the thing to do. But then as time went on, all of a sudden it was like, wow, this is like a bonding experience.
Yeah.
And this is, by the time they were older, we were sitting there reading a chapter of Harry Potter, and when we started out with picture books. And so that just becomes part of not only the reading, but the relationship building, doesn't it?
It really does. And I will tell you, kids love to mimic what their parents are doing. And so reading to that child together, and then also them just seeing you reading out by yourself and enjoying a good book yourself is really important for their development, and important as they are starting to build their own reading skills and their own love for literacy.
I love that. Actually, my nephew, he is really big into reading. He's only 2, but he reads all the time. My sister started reading to him like in the womb, and now he will read his own book by memory. He can't really read yet, but it's just so cool to watch him go from just sitting there and listening to him being like, no, I'll read it. So what does it do for kids when it comes to the education part of the brain development of when they're ready to go to school? Do you see the difference in kids that do get exposed to books earlier on versus the kids who maybe don't?
Well, we definitely want to see that development, the audio development, the brain development, the speech development. All of those things are cultivated through this love of reading. And you can definitely see a child that has developed that love for reading. And there will only be positive benefits from it, I will say. I think the other thing that's really important, and I think your sister has honed in on this, is to make reading fun. And so it sounds like your nephew really enjoys it. He wants to pick up the book as opposed to other things.
Yes.
But really making it fun so that learn doesn't feel like learning to the child, even though that brain stimulation is oh so important.
Exactly.
I want to ask you also just about how a parent can go about maybe prioritizing this in the schedule. I remember one of the challenges as my kids were growing up, all of a sudden they had more and more homework every night. They were spending time doing this, that, the other. Sports comes into play, or other extracurriculars, dance class or whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden you don't really have much time, but it also doesn't take much time. Even, 5 minutes is probably better than nothing.
Yeah. I think, and this is a great place for children to mimic what parents do, but I try to carve out 10 minutes a day usually at the end of my day to read, and then we kind of have reading downtime in my household. And so, even if you shut off devices a half hour before bedtime, right? And everybody has a book that they can read. These are creative ways that as parents we can really make sure that we're carving out that time that we know is so necessary for their development, and really helping them to understand the importance of keeping a book bedside. And whether it's a book, an audio book, a book on a Kindle, it doesn't really matter. It's about falling in love with that story.
Yeah, and obviously it's so important for kids and their development, but talk about, the effect that it has on adults too, to keep up with reading, and again, even if it's just a couple times a week when you can, to jump into a book.
Yeah, I think for adults, there are still plenty of really great benefits. Again, it's helping with those sleep patterns. I personally use it as a stress reliever. I can't think of a better way to kind of escape reality than through a great book. And so I was laughing talking about this the other day, but I'm into romance novels right now, right? But it's a great opportunity to stimulate your brain, give yourself some stress reduction, really helps with hormones, really making sure that we're taking care of our body, but still enjoying ourselves. So finding fun ways to do that.
I love it.
That's great. Well, good. Shannon Wilson from Priority Health, thank you so much for being with us and encouraging all of us to just spend a few extra minutes with the kids especially and open a book this month. Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.